What's up everybody, it's Smith here from GamersHeroes.com, and today I've got a quick video for you in Marvel Snap on my top 10 cards from Pool 1. I've been playing Snap since it came out in early access, like before this early access, the previous sort of limited releases. I've got all of the cards bar 2, I'm missing Destroyer, which is one of the only cards I've wanted for like 1,000 collector levels, and Wasp, who's useful for some decks but pretty useless otherwise. So this is just Pool 1. If you're not familiar with how the pool works, basically until a certain level, you will only unlock cards from a specific pool. So pool 1 is level 18 to 214 collector level. So once you get to 214, you will have all of pool 1 cards, and it goes up to pool 2 and pool 3 at the moment. So we're going to go over my top 10 cards for pool 1, starting off here with Angela, who I still use now. I used her when I started, when I was leveling up, and I'm still using her now. So her effect is when you play a card here, it's +2 power. So remember the importance of the play word. You know, it doesn't work if you put down Mr. Sinister and it drops 2 of them, you only get it for 1. So she works really well pretty much with anything, you know, because she gets a +2 each time. So as long as you're planning to fill the lane, you'll get +2, +2, +2, making her a 2 for 7. So a 2 for 7 is a pretty good score. She does run into problems when you're coming up against decks with their Green Goblin, Debris, that kind of stuff, but you're not going to find any of that in Tier 1, or Pool 1 I should say. But yeah, she's a really strong card. She works really well with Green Goblin as well, actually. Again, not a Pool 1 card, but Green Goblin will drop on your side, give her a +2, and then launch over to the other side, taking up one of their spots. She works really well with some 1-drops. If you've got Killmonger later on, you can pile 1-drops on her, kill the 1-drops, and then sort of fill her up again. So it's a bit more of a risky one, that one, because you're not sure what's coming. But yeah, Angela is definitely one of the best cards in Pool 1. Now we're going to go over to Elektra, who is one I see wasted all the time when I'm playing against people. On reveal, destroy a random enemy 1-cost card at this location. That doesn't seem amazing, you know, 1-cost cards aren't massively effective, but there are some that are hugely effective. So you've got Nova, destroying that, not always a good idea. So when you destroy Nova, he's in this video as well, he'll get +1 to all other cards on their side of the field. Dropping it before they've put down the cards they want to buff. You know, it still buffs someone, but it's better than leaving them until, you know, right at the end when they destroy it, turn 6. She also deals with Sunspot really well. He gets +1 for each unspent energy each turn. Again, quite a popular card in the meta at the minute. He's all over the place, so she can take him down pretty good. She's just overall an effective card. I think a lot of people struggle with Elektra because they'll just drop her turn 1 and hope that they match your turn 1 drop in the same location, which is not a good way of using her at all. You want to save her until you know you can get value out of her, otherwise she's a 1-for-1, which is useless. Alright, next up, I probably should have put these in energy order so I could find them a little bit quicker. We're going to go with Cosmo. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this guy. I love him because he's a very strong card. I hate him because he cancels half of my decks. So he has an ongoing ability where on-reveal abilities won't happen at this location. So pretty much once he goes down, no on-reveal abilities are happening there at all, which is a bit harsh, especially early on. You know, a lot of the stuff focuses on reveal abilities. So you got Forge, Korg, Elektra, Squirrel Girl, Scarlet Witch, Rocket Raccoon. Tons of them in the early days are on-reveal abilities. This is another one where there's sort of 2 ways to play him. You can drop him in a lane early on and just secure that lane, or you can wait until they drop something with big, sort of like Wong, for example, who doubles all on reveal effects at a location. But Cosmo is pretty good at locking down a lane. You can be pretty sure that they're only going to be putting numbers in there. There's not going to be many cool effects and stuff going on. So yeah, Cosmo is a no-brainer. And then we're going to go up to Professor X, who for a long time was my most hated card alongside Leader. But now that I use him, I've grown to love him. He works fantastically well with Daredevil, which is a card you're not going to get until Pool 3. Daredevil lets you see what they're going to play turn 5 before you play yours. But either way, he's a fantastic way. Pretty much once you put him down, if you're winning that lane, you're guaranteed to win the lane with the exception of a few buffing cards. So Blue Marvel, who gives +1 to all your cards. Ironheart is probably more common early on, who gives +2 to 3 random cards. But nothing can go in the lane. They can't play any cards there. No tokens can be put there. So Tiger Girl can't throw something over there. Squirrel Girl can't put anything in there. So if you're winning this lane when this guy goes down, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. If you're winning by more than 4 or 5, 100%. So for that reason, Professor X is a fantastic card. Alright, now we're going to go up to Scarlet Witch. What else if I could have, I should have just put these all in the deck. That would have been smart, wouldn't it? Just put them all in a deck, and then I wouldn't have to sit here and make you guys wait while I find them. Well, you know, hindsight and all that. Maybe I'll do that for the next one. Where is Scarlet Witch? 3 for 2, right? Is it 2 for free? It might be 2 for free. Where is it? There it is. Right, Scarlet Witch. So on reveal, replace a location with a new one. So it's usually beneficial if used properly. It can screw you over. You know, if you flip her into something like, you know, negative zone where you get a bunch of minus power, or the one way, I think that might be the one where you the least power wins. Obviously, throwing something down there is not a good idea. But it's really good for getting rid of a location that's going to seriously sort of buff your opponent. You know, so if you've got a bunch of 1-drops on the location that gives everything there +5 power, you know, that becomes a really hard lane to win to an easy lane to win. She's also a good counter to Storm. If they drop Storm turn 3 and it changes it to Flooded, which doesn't let you play cards then next turn, Scarlet Witch can counter that, and that's quite a screw in the works there for the Storm players. So she's really useful early on. I think later on you tend to go more for Storm, but in pool 1, she's a really good card. Now we're going to go to Devil Dino, who has sort of lost favour a little bit over time. This guy's been nerfed. Before the early access, he used to be a bit stronger, but they nerfed him not because of himself, but because of his affinity with Mr. Negative, which is another video altogether. So this guy has an ongoing +2 power for each card in your hand. Now the value is obviously completely dependent on what kind of deck you're playing. If you're playing a bunch of low cost drops, you're not going to get a lot of value out of him. You want to sort of have 4 or 5 cards in your hand by the time we get to the sort of turn 6 area. He works really well with cards like Onslaught, who double ongoing abilities. But just generally, he's a good, strong powerhouse to drop down on turn 5. Just sort of try and make sure that you can see before you drop him how many cards you're still going to have in your hand turn 6. If you're planning a 1-drop turn 6, he's probably good value. A 1/6 drop, I mean. If you're planning a bunch of 1-drops or 2-drops, he's going to drop in value. But he's a very strong card to have earlier on, especially when teamed up with Onslaught. So we'll go over to Enchantress now. She's a 4 for 4. There she is. So again, Enchantress is another one that I hate to love because I played a Patriot deck for a long time and she just completely destroys that deck. So on reveal, remove the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location. So this is a sort of after the fact, whereas a Cosmo is a premeditated sort of blockage. You want to put them down to stop them doing it. Enchantress happens after the ongoing effects have been placed down. Obviously, if the card on the opponent's field is face down, it does nothing. So you want to be going second when you play her, and then making sure that you target the lane with the most ongoings. Now, the ongoings decks, they come and go with flavour, sort of with out of flavour with the meta at the moment. You know, Patriot's still pretty big, and that's a big ongoing deck. Again, Devil Dino, she completely kills Devil Dino. Captain America, she'll remove Captain America's ongoing. Same with Namor, Strong Guy. You know, there's a ton of ongoing cards, and the value really increases if they drop a couple in the same area. So, you know, like Wong, for example, the 4/2 drop that doubles on reveal abilities. You know they're going to be dropping 3 cards there that are going to be dangerous. So, Enchantress is a good card to have. She's difficult to put in a deck because that's her only value. If you come up against someone that isn't playing ongoing cards, she's garbage. So I sort of use her, especially when the featured locations, you know, are going to have people with ongoing abilities going a bit crazy, or the hot locations. I don't use her as much as I used to, but she is a very, very valuable card. She will last from pool 1 until pool 3. You will pull her out all the time. Alright, next up we have Onslaught. This guy is a machine. He has always been in the meta to some extent or another. And what he does is he doubles your ongoing effects at this location. This is all of them. So right now there's an Exodia deck that's quite popular where you play Wong into Mystique, who copies Wong's ability. Wong into Onslaught, into Mystique, into Gambit, and that will pretty much kill everything on your opponent's field that's face up. He also works in the Patriot deck where you do Patriot, Onslaught, Mystique. So he's used in quite a few of the top meta decks at the moment. But yeah, he works early on. Again, if you've just got pool 1 cards, Devil Dino into Onslaught is going to win you a lane almost guaranteed. And then you've got your other cards to sort of look at the other lane. So Onslaught is not massively useful in pool 1. I guess you've got Namor, Stronger. There's a few cards he can sort of go with, but Devil Dino is the only one that's going to probably win you a lane. But he's going to have lots of uses for you building decks as you go forward. Alright, so we have 2 left. We are going to go for my boy Carnage. I like this one. No, I like this one more. So Carnage, on reveal, destroys your other cards here and gains +2 power for each card destroyed. This is really useful for sort of cards with obviously less than 2 attack. If you're killing something with more than 2 attack, you're not going to get the value out of it because you're losing more than 2 and you're only gaining 2. But it's a good way of dealing with debris, who seems to be sort of popping in and out of favour of the meta at the minute. If you've thrown down an Elektra and you've taken out their sunspot, or you've popped down a forge, he's a good way of sort of clearing a lane so you can play more cards down. He'll deal with goblins as well, green goblin, hobgoblin. So yeah, it's just a pretty useful card. The destroy deck is definitely very strong right now, but you do need some very specific cards that you don't get till a lot later. And then we are going to go with Nova, who is a 1 for 2. Now this guy used to be fantastic. It used to be +2 power. It was broken. They nerfed him. So when this card is destroyed, give your cards +1 power. Obviously, only used within a destroy deck. Don't put him into your deck hoping the opponent's going to destroy him. The only way they can is Killmonger or Elektra. Killmonger's pretty good. Or Destroyer, I suppose. So Killmonger's a 3 for 3 that destroys all 1-drops. He works fantastically with Nova, dropping them late game, buffing all you guys. He works well with Carnage. Carnage can eat him up. He gets the +2, then +1 for the destroying. So Nova's pretty good, although he will definitely become more and more popular with your decks as you unlock some of the more destroy-specific cards. So guys, that's my top 10 cards in Pool 1. I hope you guys enjoyed Marvel Snap. I actually love this game, and we'll get some more of our videos out to you very soon. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.